Definitely going to be a threat of water rise, and the folks there that live on the Outer Banks and are familiar with Pamlico Sound know all about this. Every time a tropical system goes by, they're extremely vulnerable to that there. They're not as experienced with this up in the Northeast, although certainly we found out in Hurricane Irene that it can happen, and we think it will happen with this storm as well. There's a very complicated issue with this storm coming up, and take a look at the latest numbers here from the National Hurricane Center, and it is Hurricane Sandy at the moment is the official designation. But the thinking is that just looking at it on the satellite doesn't look much like it has hurricane force winds in it. They're still saying 75 miles an hour for peak winds, but the hurricane hunters are going to go out there in just a little bit, and it would be surprising if they actually find winds that strong, because it looks like it's on a weakening trend, which is expected actually, and it's really important that we talk about that. There's the pressure. They'll measure that get a new pressure for us, and it's moving to the north now, away from the Bahamas at 7 miles per hour. So here's the way the thinking goes, that by later tonight, it's down below hurricane strength, so it becomes a tropical storm or a subtropical storm, still sandy though. So we think that's going to be confusing for folks. Okay, it's not a hurricane anymore, it's a tropical storm or it's a subtropical storm. But here, watch these numbers. Now this is tomorrow, and there's tomorrow night. So down to a 65 mile an hour storm. But now look here on Sunday, the thinking, and into Monday, the thinking is that it intensifies back up to having hurricane strength winds. But remember this talk of the transition to becoming more like a hurricane embedded in a nor'easter. So the confusing talk here of exactly what the label is, and we're hoping that people understand the forecast, because it's a complicated forecast to communicate. So if you're just tuning in for the tropical update here, the end effect is still the same, that a storm with hurricane force winds is going to move in somewhere here in this red cone area from the Tidewater area on up through New England, with the focus being somewhere right in there for the center, but the winds extending for the whole distance all the way up and down the coast.